Okay, yeah, so here we go. Okay, so this is how you're supposed to play Ranger in the game. Just to be clear. Yep. I mean, shit, if you're gonna get one shot, you might as well, you know. Okay, so, one thing I do not like. Okay, and we're gonna start off with the cons, because there's a lot of pros. There is inertia in this game. I do not like the inertia. When you move your character, you like tap. You can see it for a moment when I'm moving. Like I tap to move, and then like she like warms up for a second and then starts moving. Right? It's only at the start. Remember how like Guardian used to have this in BDO? They had to remove it, right? Like that needs to get removed. And to be clear, this is a closed beta. The game is not optimized yet. There will be bugs, and it's not completely in its final state yet. Okay. But, and again, they asked us all for feedback. There were about 30 or 40 people that were given access to the beta, as far as I'm aware. And I was one of the privileged few, so God bless them. But like they did ask us for feedback. This was in my feedback. But that's the only real thing that I have to say, because the combat is okay. So there's Black Desert combat, which like sets the bar for a lot of players, at least in my audience. That is pretty well known in the MMO genre as like the staple 10 out of 10 combat in the MMO genre. Okay, and if Black Desert is a 10 and Lost Ark is a 9, this game comes in as a solid 7 on combat. Okay, solid 7 out of 10 on combat. It is not as smooth or clean as BDO, but it takes a different approach. It takes it's much more approachable than Black Desert's combat system. The biggest problem compared to Throne, oh my God, you don't compare it to Throne. Throne would be like a 2 or 3 out of 10 compared to the combat that you're going to have in this game. It's not even remotely close. It's like, what are we talking about? So this is a Dark Souls meets New World meets Black Desert attempt at combat, and I think they do a really good job of it. It is not a like combo oriented thing. You're not pressing Shift F into Shift W into forward F, etc. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then on your first weapon, and then you swap to your other weapon mid combat, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4 on your other weapon. Okay, so there is combos, and you're going to have to combo between weapons smoothly. I was skeptical at first about this. I was like, swapping weapons mid combat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Man, I don't really feel like that's going to be dynamic enough. I assure you, it is more than dynamic enough. It is not tab target. It is not tab target. It is all action combat. There's no tab. In fact, I found myself pressing tab to try to target things, and I couldn't. You can program it that way, but like there's a lock-on feature you can choose to use, but no. So you can see, like, I'm trying to figure out, okay, so here's the, at the bottom of the screen, this is what the UI looks like. You see 1, 2, 3, 4 for my chain blades right down here. And then there's a 1, 2, 3, 4 for my battle axe on the other side. So again, and you press Q to swap between them. You also build up Berserker Rage with various skills. There are buffs for various skills as well. So there's pre-buffs, DPS skills, Berserker Rage skills. You're swapping weapons constantly. Guys, the weapon is more than dynamic enough to hold your interest for basically infinite amounts of time. And the combat is like, it's super satisfying. Like, at no point was I tired of using my skills. It's like, this is me experimenting with the skills. I'll let you guys hear it. Oh, wow. Bro, I'm... Oh, okay. Oh, wow. It feels really good. Q-block. Only certain classes have a Q block. In this case, Swordsman. Oh, shit. Yeah, I'm basically playing the God of War playthrough. Berserker is going to rely heavily on making sure you're a god at dodging things and then healing through a lot of the damage in the game. And Berserker actually benefits from being low on health. You do a lot more damage when you're low on health, which you're going to see me be a lot of times, right? Because like I'm trying to like low key feather being low on health, but also not wanting to die all the time. So like, oh, the dodge. Okay, the dodge mechanic is super responsive. Yeah, the dodge mechanic is really good and responsive, just like you would assume in a Dark Souls game. It feels just like Dark Souls, guys.
There is like one,
yeah,
2, 3,
Olaf.
4. It's oh, there's
Caught. Yes, there is an open world PvP mode. Yes, it can be on all the time. And yes, I did PvP. And by the way, there is no punishment for killing people in the open world that I am aware of. You can just kill them indiscriminately. Now, to be clear,
Fuego Wave cheer Dex 100, so if you almost completed a no-hit
Hold on.
run of Elden Ring, I should be chilling?
yeah. Oh god, if you completed Elden Ring, you're gonna love this game. Now, I want to be very clear. For those of you that do not want to do PvP, there's a PvE mode where you can avoid it. You can avoid PvP. It's gonna cost you. I did ask them. I was like, okay, so is there incentive for turning on the PvP mode? Because once you turn on PvP mode, it's on. It's Arsha. It is a lawless hellscape. People are going to run you down. If they see you and they want to kill you, they're going to do that. That's how it is. Okay. But in the closed beta here, they said there was no advantage for turning on the PvP mode because they knew that we were going to test it anyway, so it doesn't matter. But they were looking at adding like big incentives for turning on the PvP mode. And then again, if you don't want to have the PvP mode on, for those adventurers that don't want to have to PvP all the time or don't want to experience that, you can turn it off. So there's that. You have to do that in a town though. So it's just like New World in this regard. You have to be in town. You can turn it off in a town, okay? Or you can turn it on. And in order to turn it off, you have to go back to town, okay? Just be aware.
mount. This is G, guys. G is in Gary.
Yeah, so you hit G, and then this is like your quick tab here, where you can access a lot of different things. Do you guys want me to skip through the tutorial or show you guys a little bit? You know what? I'll let it switch to the battle axe so that you guys can see exactly what the weapon swap looks like and stuff. And I'll let you listen to the sounds
you literally
a little
have to
bit.
run up. It's all action combat. Is not tab at all. Target. I keep pressing tab like it's TNL.
No tab target. All action.
Oh, you press
That's
Q
the
to
swap.
Weapons. Oh shit!
Yep. The swap.
Okay, hold on.
Guys, if you saw, I don't know if you guys saw that. The swap is so clean. You hit Q, and it's like, ching, and it feels good. Like you want to swap. Like, and I found myself during bosses, like I pump them with I'm pumping them with my dual axes or whatever the. I'm going in, I finish my combo with the dual axes, I hit Q, switches to the chain blades, and I'm immediately pumping ass with the chain blades. It feels really good. It feels really good.
Q to swap weapons. Oh shit!
Can you swap mid attack? Yes.
Okay, hold up.
But so you can tap Q, and the attack will finish and then swap for you. That's what will happen.
I got a big ass axe. Okay, 2. Oh wow, and they're all different. They're all different abilities too.
Yeah, I'm still figuring it out.
And then I can press Q. Now I've got my cleavers out. Oh wait.
I pressed Q twice.
Not enough range. Okay, so I have to do, I guess, enough damage. Oh my gosh, that does a lot of damage.
These are just my auto attacks.
Okay.
The battle axe does a of damage and swings really slowly, so I chose the dual axes like Olaf.
Now I can swap again. We hit Q. We swap weapons again, and we're all raged up.
I love the
Bro,
chain blades and the dual axes. Will Chrono have large-scale PvP? Good question. I did ask them. They have not confirmed yet whether or not we'll have large-scale PvP. My guess is that there are a lot of aspects of this game that are a lot like New World. There are a lot of aspects that are like BDO. There are aspects that are like Guild Wars 2. There are aspects that are like Dark Souls. My guess for large-scale PvP is that they're probably going to try to keep it under 45v45. I think that they want to keep it as small scale as possible. I think I am expecting hopefully like a 25v25 or even a 48v48 game mode of some kind. Something like that. But they have not confirmed any of that for the game quite yet. Also, open world GVGs, they're going to get kind of big.
Chain daggers or whatever, these cleavers are
probably for stability. Exactly. Well, you think back to your best Node Wars and your best war games from Throne. They're all like lower people, right? Like the 100 mans, usually like it's an optimization issue. Like normally your best times happen between 25 to like 45 or so people, right? Maximus 77, thanks for the prime, somebody appreciate you.
Okay, so there are damage numbers.
I was extremely impressed with the performance of this, considering this is a closed beta and not the actual launch of the game. There is like a little bit, like there's definitely some frame lag here and there, obviously, like some optimization issues, but on the whole, the game looks gorgeous and is running very well.
Numbers.
It's running super well.
Running. I think maybe they just
It's much closer to completed than I actually thought.
Okay. Can I click on?
Okay, so this is me just figuring out the various aspects of the game. I'm just gonna speed ahead.
I can't wait to play Paladin, bro. Okay, this is my Berserk mode. Yeah, I do a lot more damage. Okay, let's try it.
Yeah, so like you guys see, like the big battle axe has like a spinning thing. You're spinning around with it.
I missed it, but
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. What's the most fun DPS class? I personally thought it was Berserker, but all three of them, I thought I was gonna hate Ranger. All three of them are really good, guys.
Pursuit. Oh, my bad. Okay. I got carried away.
What gear progression? We're gonna talk about it.
Done.
Okay, so I close that. Gotta kill these enemies here. And this is where I'm talking about the game gets really hard, guys. This is the tutorial, by the way.
Combat's pretty good.
This must be the relic.
I look kind of homeless, but my tits are massive, so it's a W.
True, brother. Be uploaded to YouTube. There's already a video on YouTube with my TLDR thoughts on the game, and yes, all of this will be on YouTube.
Oh god, this is one of those like higher up Void members. Oh my god.
It's not gender locked, no.
That dude cut that bitch in half, bro.
Yeah, so the rogue is dead. Do you guys remember the rogue that like flipped the coin in the first trailer? Yeah, that bitch is dead. If you just missed that, let's just back that up for a moment.
Like higher up Void member.
Yeah, so this is Game of Thrones. This main story is Game of Thrones. Do not get attached to anyone. Do not get attached to anyone. Okay? Like, I don't give a shit. Like, everyone dies.
That dude cut that bitch in half, bro.
And then you have to fight him.
Spada? Okay. Let's go. Dodge. Okay. Dive. Holy, what the?
Enjoyed the game? I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Dodge. Oh my god. There we go. Big spin.
When will I be able to play this game? On the 20th if you have the beta access.
Dodge again. Oh my god.
You see I'm getting really low.
We're getting a little low.
Yeah, getting a little low. I've only gotten him a quarter of the way down, guys.
This is like a Dark Souls. Oh my god. It's supposed to be the tutorial. We're not going to die in the tutorial. We're going to let the NPC take it. Okay, here we go. He's focused on the NPC. Here we go.
It is just like
Dodge,
Elden Ring.
Dodge.
Yep.
Dodge again. Oh, dodge. Big dodge. Okay. There we go. Big engage. There we go.
Okay, we got him staggered. Yo, we didn't die in the tutorial. But you can kill him, by the way. I killed him on the Swordsman. You can kill him. 100%. He killed me there. That's why like it was gonna kill me there. That's why I flipped to this particular scene here.
Little laggy, definitely dropping some frames here, but it's a closed beta, so I'll give him.
Oh my shit! Oh my god!
Bro, this shit's like Game of Thrones.
Oh shit! Just a smear on the pavement.
Hey, so I was just thinking I was gonna be your friend.
You did die in the tutorial. I did not technically die. You didn't see me die in the tutorial. There's mommy. Holy shit. Holy shit.
Claimed countless worlds.
I can't wait for the R34.
Even so, we still have a chance.
There's
The
mom.
Chronotector is capable of turning back time. I shall return you to the past. find me there. Bring word that the future has changed.
Here we go. This is your first look at the skill tree. Okay, so you have like masteries and whatnot. Is you have passives, masteries, and everything on this tree, and you can skill into stuff as you level up. You are not going to get very many points. Okay, like leveling up is hard in this game. It's hard. It takes a while. So like every time you level up, guys, it's going to feel super meaningful. It's going to be very impactful on your ability to play the game and like fight and combat things out in the world. Okay, so like every time I leveled up, it felt like classic WoW. That's what it felt like. When I leveled up the first time in classic WoW, it's like, oh shit, I can go like buy a new skill. Oh, I can't wait for that. Or I can get the next level of my skill, or I can get this new passive. The new passive unlocks and stuff. You see the passive tab is over here on this right side. Super impactful stuff every time you level up. We'll talk about the stats in the game in a second after yeah, here's the class mastery. Okay, so again, these unlock, you have to choose your class mastery. As far as I'm aware, you're only going to get one at each level, and this helps you spec into how you want to play your class. This goes into, do I want to play a tank berserker? Do I want to play a DPS berserker? Right? Like how do you want to play? Do you want to play a bruiser? Right? Like, how do you want to play your class? Ranger and swordsman have exactly the same kind of situation with their class passives. This helps you specialize how you actually want to end up building your class overall, right? Special moves. Yeah. So they give you special moves, special passives, and things that make your class better at different things. Can you reset it? I'm sure that you can. Yeah, there's a reset function down in the bottom right. You can see there's a reset button right down here. You can reset it. I don't know how much it costs you to reset it, or if it costs you anything. I was able to just reset it at will if I wanted to, but that was, again, this is a closed beta. That could change. I don't know for sure. Again, here, okay, so this is me discovering the lock-on feature for the first time. I was like, oh, okay, so you can lock on to targets. There are some times where you definitely do not want to lock on to the targets, just to be clear. That's like, there's just like in Elden Ring, like, bro, if the boss is like slightly flying and you're a melee, it'll put your camera kind of in the ground. That's frustrating. You just avoid that. There's your weapon. Okay. Weapon mastery level ups and class level ups are two different things. When you use the weapon itself, it levels up. Okay. But you have to physically use the weapon in order for it to level up. You can't just level up the chain blades by just playing with the dual axes. That's not how it works. Okay. And you don't just get weapon mastery points for leveling up as a character. You must play with those weapons on the character. Also, a very interesting note that you guys should be aware of. When you start a new character in this game, it is a completely new adventure. You're not sharing gear between characters that I'm aware of, and the entire world goes dark again. You have to re-explore the entire world all over again. You are starting basically from scratch with every single new character that you make. It is a new adventure every single time. I've not seen that before. That's very strange. Normally you make a new character in an MMO, the map at least stays unlocked. It could have been a bugged, but like, no, that's not how it was for me. Prevents flavor of the month. Well, no. I mean, you do want to allow people to swap classes, but you can just go back to and make a new character and start with a new character. Okay. All right, so now we're running into the world here. I'm going to start doing some quests. This looks good. I meet my first enemies and whatnot. And by the way, the enemies do a lot of damage. And so you have to be very, very careful with how the enemies, like how you kind of interact with the enemies. I just start skilling into things. I'm picking up random skills and whatnot. I'm starting to realize that Berserker at this point it's not like Berserker in BDO. It is very much so your traditional Berserker that you would find in a D&D or Pathfinder campaign, where you want to be in the thick of the fighting. You're dodging very critical attacks, taking lots of damage, intentionally trying to keep your health bar at half or lower, right? So that you can do maximum damage while increasing your attack speed. And then you're Berserker raging out. A lot of your skills deal damage to you to keep you down there. And then you're sustaining it all back up again with your other abilities. So like, what is the fastest class like in movement and attack speed? That is probably Berserker. I want to say the fastest class that I was able to play is probably Berserker. It's probably going to be Assassin though when the game releases, because again, that's an Assassin right there. It was not available in this aspect of the game. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so this is the Swordsman. Okay, so that's the Berserker in the first hour of gameplay right there. Okay, now we're gonna look at the Swordsman and a little bit of the gameplay that kind of goes into Swordsman, because I tried each of the classes and tried to play them for an hour or two apiece to try to get a feel for their abilities so that I could show you guys a little bit what they look like. Okay, Swordsman. Here is the initial gameplay of Swordsman. Okay, so you can see using all these wonderful abilities. This is the SNS. I'm using the Sword and Shield and Greatsword here. Sword and Shield and Greatsword here.
Wow, Warrior feels so much smoother than Berserker. What the?
It's the dodge roll on Warrior is the smoothest of the three classes. That's what I'm experiencing right now. The abilities are also really, really fun. They're camera options, defined camera options.
Oh my god, this is so much smoother. What the? It's not even close.
You might hear me talking with some of the other creators. We were in Discord with each other talking while we were playing.
And his roll feels better too. My dodge is like a step.
Here's the Greatsword.
Greatsword. Oh, let's do the Greatsword. Oh, let's see that one. Oh, there's a big battle axe with the other one too. I'm doing the lance, bro. Okay, so that's 3. What's 4? Okay, that's 4. And this guy's rocking 2 of them, ironically enough.
I do not like how he carries the Greatsword. I don't like this. I think if this is the idle animation, it would be fine. I do not like how he... Look how he walks with it. Kind of weird, right? Looks kind of awkward. I wish you would turn off the screen shake and stuff. I think I did or didn't. Maybe I didn't turn it off. I guess I didn't turn it off. It didn't bother me too much. Didn't bother me too much. But you can turn it off, I'm sure. I did go through all the settings at one point. Okay, so this is me. I'm gonna fight I'll show you guys fighting the boss here. Here we go. Fight the boss again. Are there any mounts beside a horse? In the closed beta, no. The only mounts I saw were horses in the beta. Again, that doesn't mean that they're only mounts or they're only horses. Again, this is a closed beta access test for the game. Doesn't mean that there's only... But you'll notice how much easier and smoother the game feels on the SNS Greatsword. It just felt... Like, look how much easier it is for me to dodge. Like, I just had that timing there. Now, in fairness, I had already played the game at this point for about 11 or 12 hours. Okay, so I was a lot better at the game when I went back to play Swordsman. I probably could have done this on Berserker, no problem, too. Okay, so the Greatsword, as I said before, does have an ability where you skewer enemies and then toss them, like, to the side. Okay, which is really cool. Really, really sweet. It's got thrusts. It's got blocks. It's got, your right mouse button is like your Q block kind of deals. But again, you can't just sit there and Q block forever. It'll drain your stamina down. The Greatsword looks good. Both of the SNS and the Greatsword, again, it felt like the smoothest class of the three, in my opinion. Like, really, really smooth. Very clean gameplay. Well-rounded class. Solid amount of defense potential. Solid offense potential. Wide diversity in which you can build the class and have fun with it. You can build it, again, male or female. You see me using all the abilities right here. Just wailing on it. And again, you need to be able to swap back and forth between your weapons in order to actually get the full experience out of your weapons and the game, and like the full DPS combo that you want. You need to be able to swap back and forth between your weapons. You see, I killed him here. So you can kill the first boss. It is possible. It is possible. This is where I explain all of the different abilities and whatnot. I go through, there's a bash and slash, executes a shield bash that follows up with a sleeping slash. This is for the sword and shield. Okay, it deals some damage. It increases your threat. So again, there is threat on mobs like any typical MMO. Okay. Angled strike deals a certain amount of damage and grants enhanced angled strike for 10 seconds. Increase the damage of angled strike based on the number of stacks. So you can stack this up to 3 times. And a lot of the classes have a passive like this where you've got it stacking like this. Berserker has a lot of like stacking passives, which encourage you to stay in combat if you're a melee class. Steadfast defense, you get a protective barrier, reduce incoming damage by 30% for 12 seconds. Charging thrust, that is upon blocking an attack, grants a 20% chance to reset the cooldown of charging thrust. Okay, and that's like the run forward and skewer ability. Basically, you just charge forward and you smash them in the face. Let's see, what else did I mouse over here? Earth Shatter. Upon using Earth Shatter, which is that big ability where I slam the sword into the ground, kind of like Draconia in BDO, she like, okay. It's like you can add more effects to that ability as you start to level up if you want to spec that ability really hard. You didn't try the dual blades? I did for a little while, but I'll be honest with you, I like the Greatsword SNS. The dual blades, I go through the dual blade skill trees. I read through all of it, so you'll know what the abilities, at least like what to expect as far as abilities go. In fact, did I go through it? Did I go through it here? Okay, that's the boss. That's the SNS. I don't know where I... Here we go, dual blades. Oh, dual blades. Okay, so I mouse through these abilities as well. Okay, so you have Savage Onslaught. Increase the attack by 10% for 10 seconds upon successfully landing the final strike of a basic attack. Okay. Counter Strike deals 108% damage to an enemy and inflicts knockback. That's like the stagger back thing. Upon landing a counterattack, generate 20 rage, which is an aspect of the dual blades or Swordsman. Spinning Strike delivers a spinning attack, dealing damage to nearby enemies. Each hit granting a threat increase effect, which lasts for 15 seconds. So you can still stack threat with the dual blades on. Okay, you can still stack them. Hey, guys, if you miss any of the live stream today, I will be uploading all of these as different YouTube videos so that, like, you know, I can cover certain aspects of the game. All of this will be on YouTube as well. So I'm going to be following this game like crazy. Okay. Oh, and remember, if you're on YouTube right now, like the video. I appreciate it, guys. Anyway. Okay, so this is me deciding if I want to go through SNS or if I want to try Greatsword. And I do end up going with the Greatsword. How did the PvP feel? Smooth and clean. I don't know where I have PvP showcased in here. It's towards the end. People didn't want to PvP until the very end of the beta, and then they were like, all right, screw it. And then they attacked me in PvP, and they around. They found out. What they found out was that I had been playing a lot more than them and was way better. They around and found the out. Okay, so upward slash. These are the Greatsword skills that you're looking at here. Upward slash executes an upward slash, dealing 139% damage and increasing attack for 8 seconds. It stacks up to 5 times. No, I was not a bottom witch. I basically dominated. Impaling kick pierces an enemy, followed by a kick that deals damage and inflicts knockback. It was an FAFO situation. Power slash unleashes a wide slash that deals damage. If an enemy is not affected by bleed, it inflicts a bleed with a 50% chance. If an enemy is already affected with bleed, it increases the damage of that bleed. Bleed deals 7% damage every 2 seconds for 15 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. No damage reductions or spells for PvP. There is, guys. So the stats in this game, I'll cover it a little bit later in more detail. But to give you an overall understanding of what the stats look like, there is no evasion in this game that I am aware of. You have physical defense, you have magic defense, and you stack damage reduction. That's it. That's what you do. Okay, there's no RNG chance to hit somebody. There's no RNG like, oh, my whole attack missed because I like F, you know what I mean? Yeah, no evasion that I'm aware of or that I ran into at all. It's just damage. It's all damage reduction based. Everybody has different types of damage that they deal, whether it be magic or physical, etc. And you just build for that. Okay. Yeah, we all hate evasion. Okay. Okay, here we go. I go back to the dual blade Savage Onslaught. Oh no, I already looked at this. Quadruple strike. I think that we didn't cover this one quite yet. Delivers a series of 4 strikes, dealing damage. Each hit grants threat reduction, which lasts for 15 seconds. This stacks up to 10 times. So what you guys are seeing is that if you want to be a tank and play the dual blades, you can do that. There are skills that will grant you threat, but there are also skills that will drop threat for you as well. So you can spec into various things depending on how you want to play the class in PvE and with your friends. Okay. That's the counter strike. I think we already... Oh, no. Deals damage to an enemy and inflicts knockback upon landing a counterattack. Grants 20% rage. I think that that's the same as the SNS. I think that that's the same. I might just be the slowest reader of all time. There we go. Spinning strike. This, I think we already did this one. Delivers a spinning attack, dealing damage to nearby enemies. Each hit grants a threat increase effect. Yeah, so that's the threat increase effect ability. Stacking up to 6 times. And you expand on these abilities as you go down the tree, guys. You get more passives for them. They do
Wolf
more stuff.
Underscore of
you get
underscore
more aspects.
Mandalore just gifted 10 subs.
Obviously, they cost less rage and stuff the whole time as well. Today, I'm trying to show you guys exactly what this game looks like and answer all of your questions regarding the game overall. Okay, whether it be for Ranger, PvP, PvE systems, life skilling, crafting, every little bitty question that you guys have, I'm going to try to answer for you today, okay? That's what I'm trying to do today. I'm trying to deliver you. They released the NDA, yeah. Like, again, the embargo was lifted. We can create content for the game. And to be clear, I am not trying to spoil the game for you guys. I'm not going to try to put out guides for you. Maybe like a choose your class guide so you guys have a general understanding of how to choose your class overall. But I'm not trying to make guides for you. I want you guys to experience the game like I did. I want you to experience the immersion that I did as well. I want you to just like get a feel for the game. Choose your class guides, sure, but early on, I'm probably not going to do guides. I'm just going to do news. I'm going to show gameplay. I'm going to explain systems, etc., things like this. I don't want to ruin your, like, playing the game. I want to be clear. I made the exact same character for my... This is my Ranger, I think, this time. Look. I am nothing if not consistent with how I name my character. Like, it is what it is. Okay, as okay, so now we're on to the Ranger gameplay. Okay, and the Ranger is the highest skill ceiling of any of the 3 classes.
Chocobo just resubscribed for 12 months. I like the idea of Sork Ranger and Assassinate what I want to do.
Yeah, I mean, I can help you make that choice. 5 months, buddy. Thanks so much, man. Appreciate you. Okay, so each one of these auto attacks can be aimed, guys, and you get rewarded for headshotting people, which means it's a really high skill ceiling. Like a really high skill ceiling. Because you are constantly, I'm telling you right now, if you don't have, like right now, I have NPCs out in front of me. There's like the archer. It's one of like the spread shot skills. You see me using the various skills. That's like the jump back skill. Again, we're going to relate it to what Archer does in BDO for the most part. This is the Rapier. This looks like, again, this is like a Fiora style, or I guess a little bit like Awakening Nova, but it does not have the mobility. Like it's got short range,
underscore
quick
Casey
dashes.
and just resubscribed for 15 months. Hear him for another month of pure gaming.
Yep. The Rapier helps you reposition in close quarter combat very quickly with iframes, and there are iframes in this game in combat, to be clear. It helps you reposition in close quarters and helps you get away from your opponents or like deal a quick amount of damage when someone gets on top of you, reposition, and continue to kite backwards with your ranged weapon. Okay, so on the Ranger, you're going to be swapping back and forth very, like a bunch. Okay, Naraka bow, kind of like the Naraka bow. Yeah, exactly like that. Yeah. Although it doesn't, you can hip fire, or you can do like a charge shot, kind of like in Naraka, but like you don't. It doesn't like build up power over time like the longer you hold it necessarily. You do like you can build up power by like doing like an aimed shot if you zoom in to like aim. But you can only do that so many times before it has to recharge again, is how it works. Okay, Piercing Blade. Upon switching to the Rapier, increase crit by 30% and crit damage by 50% for 15 seconds. So again, you're meant to start off with your ranged weapon on this class, and then somebody gets close to you, you switch to your Rapier, and it's just like, BAM! And you just smack them. Very quick reposition with a tremendous amount of damage very quickly. Okay. Invigorating Blade. Recovers 10 vigor upon landing a basic attack. Does the attack speed scale by FPS? Excellent question. I did turn my FPS down during various parts of the playtest, and I turned my FPS up. There was no noticeable increase or decrease in damage upon changing my FPS. That was at least my experience in the closed beta. So it is not like Black Desert in the sense that like the higher FPS equals more DPS. Like at least that's what I found. Okay. Okay, increases the damage of basic attacks by 30%. Obviously, we have all this. Crescent Slash deals damage and increases the attack by 4% for 12 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. So again, a lot like Fiora from League. And like you hit them and you get more attack speed the longer you're like you smack them, reposition, smack them, reposition, smack. Like you do a lot more damage over time. Delivers 2 rapid thrusts, dealing 173% damage, a lot like me in the bedroom. Oh, that was an important one. Counterattack blocks an enemy attack, dealing damage and inflicting knockback upon hit. Applies a mark to the enemy, increasing their damage received by 10% for 8 seconds. A lot like the point of weakness for Fiora. Okay, and again, all of these expand as you go down through the tree. I did not go through the whole tree necessarily. Oh, I wanted to see Venom Blade. There we go. Grants a 50% chance to inflict poison upon landing an active skill. That's right. So when you hit, so this is just a passive. When you hit a skill with the Rapier, again, you can use the Rapier as much or as little as you want. When you hit them with the Rapier, you want to take this passive on the right. If you want your primary gameplay to center around using this Rapier, kind of like an Awakening Ranger. Like you want to center around like a melee class that does a lot of damage in close quarters combat, but you're like a fart in the wind squishy. You can do that. You want to take this passive on the right. If you just want to dart in and out with the Rapier and really focus on the ranged combat, you can take the Venom Blade, hit them very quickly at close range, reposition, hit them, apply the poison, back off, and kite with your bow skills. Okay, so like that's doable. I want to be clear. I chose crossbow bow when I was playing it. I did not play with the Rapier. I guess I can... Look at this bullshit! Okay, yeah. All right, I forgot that I was a little upset, guys, that I had been playing Berserker, and it was the game was so much harder because I had to be so close to everyone. I didn't have a Q block, right? You're constantly low on health, so everything like one-shots you, and I'm standing at range like I've never had sex in my life. Just like, bam, bam. So although Ranger has the highest skill ceiling, in my opinion, it's also the easiest to pick up and play. Like you just pick it up and just attack. Okay, you just go. It's a piece of cake if you have someone out in front of you. If you don't have someone out in front of you, I would say that the Swordsman is actually the easiest class in the game of the 3. If you don't have a tank with you, or there's no one to tank for you, the Ranger can get quite difficult because you are squishy and the mobs will kill you. Okay, so you got to kite people and you got to be able to reposition very quickly in close quarter combat. But yeah, when you have a tank, it's the easiest class in the game, no question. How was it? The Expo Bow. The Expo Bow was tremendously fun. And definitely, in my opinion, what I would play. if I was playing this class. You can see again, you can hit fire, or you can see that this deals more damage when I charge it up on the left side of your screen here. You get 5 of those charge up abilities. I think that I already used all of them. If I go back a little bit, you see these icons at the bottom of my screen, guys. When I am zoomed in, like aiming to fire, they will deal extra damage, but only those first 5 shots like that. Okay, those take time to charge back up. And as far as I'm aware, I think that they might reset if you get further into the skill tree. I'm not sure. I didn't have time to explore it necessarily, but you see every time I fire, when I'm aiming, I get... And then I hit him, and it does a lot more damage. Look, I'm not the best at aiming, okay? Does the combat feel better than BDO? It feels different than BDO. It is not... BDO is more of a fighting game. It's a fighter game with super armors, frontal guards, iframes, very smooth, crisp combat. If BDO is a 10, how would you compare Dark Souls to Black Desert Online? In your mind, how does Elden Ring's combat compare to Black Desert Online? Because that's where it's at, basically. Right at that point. I would say it's about a 7 to 10. 5, 4, no. Because you have extra abilities, right? So it's Elden Ring with abilities and magic and extra stuff, right? Because in Elden Ring, you don't have all these extra abilities that you can swap between weapons and do stuff, right? There's more dynamic. It's definitely more dynamic than Elden Ring's combat, right? Elden Ring meets an MMO. I said I gave it about a 7 if BDO is a 10. I give it about a 7 if BDO is a 10. To put Throne and Liberty on that list so that you know where it is, I'd say Throne is probably like a 3 on that scale. Yeah, the feel, the entire... Yeah, you see this. So I'm just trying to show you guys what the bow skills look like. With at the Games Expo release thing, it's like an RT. Yeah, so that's why I haven't muted, is because I'm talking with the other creators in voice in the Discord about the game and stuff. But all of the weapons feel responsive. They feel fun. I think this guy killed me. Oh, this is so much easier. You just shoot him from way the over here like a virgin. Yeah, that was a mistake. Until he starts to look at you, and then you're like, is there a headshot mechanic? There is a headshot mechanic. If you land a headshot, it deals a lot more damage. It deals a lot more damage, okay? I'm going to pause the music. We can listen to the boss music, I guess. Got to shoot and move and communicate. Yes. You're constantly kiting and dashing around. The combat is absolutely super. You can see I'm starting to get the hang of it in this boss battle right here, but it's kind of hard. I'm trying to use the rapier as well because I'm trying to get a feel for the melee combat too. So like I'm not doing what I normally would necessarily, but like you see me take a lot of damage right there in like just one hit like that. You're like, okay, well, pause. There are no healers and supports. There are classes that heal you, and your class will also have some sustain in most cases. I should have gone in with the rapier damage here. Yeah, it took me too long to figure that out. Yeah, you notice I'm still figuring out how the skills work at this point. It is what it is. Okay, all right, chilling. Do the cooldowns get lower? Yes. Yeah, the cooldowns get lower as you level up. At least for most skills, they do. The skill animations look shit. Well, I mean, again, how many times have you seen a bow class have really amazing skill animations? You don't. Not even in Black Desert do Ranger skill animations are never... Like you talk about the best skill animations in any MMO, you're never talking about the bow class in almost any regard. Ever. So, like, there's only so flashy I really want to see my bow animations overall. But yeah, you can see, okay, throw headshots and stuff, Okay, interesting. And this is really chill. Really chill. And again, early on, when you have tanks out in front of you, class is really simple. But you do have to aim. Okay, sharp arrows. Basic attack increased crit by 4%. Obviously, it's like a standard passive that most range classes are going to have. Swift shot. Shoots a nimble arrow, dealing damage. Pretty simple, straightforward. Archery training increases the damage of aim shots by 10%. Like I said before, those are those 5 shots that you get there. Charge shot deals a bunch of damage to a single enemy and inflicts a stun for 2.5 seconds, which is a long time. You also gain super armor while using this skill, which means you can't be CC'd as far as I'm aware. Video Archer's flashy. Yeah, but the skill effects themselves are not. The movement is cool, but and flashy, but the skill effects themselves are not very crazy. Radiant Arrow shoots a shining arrow during a bunch of damage. And again, you can also take, this is like the spread shot ability here. And again, they get more advanced as you go down, but I will be honest, I did not feel that the Ranger had as much depth to it as like the Swordsman did. Okay. There was a point where I decided to I put the game on hard mode. Or just better mode. Hold on. See if I can... Oh. Yeah, once I get the crossbow, I'm like, yeah, screw this. Okay, yeah, so here we go. Okay, so this is how you're supposed to play Ranger in the game. Just to be clear. Yep. I mean, shit, if you're gonna get one shot, you might as well, you know. Yeah, just enjoy it at least. I am not joking when I say I played most of Ranger. I played in this position, like this. Okay, this is my first time using the crossbow here. All right. I was like, okay, so the crossbow, my initial thoughts on the crossbow was like, bro, I feel like this weapon kind of sucks. And then I started using the abilities. So you need to level up the crossbow in order to actually get its abilities. Or otherwise, it doesn't feel like crazy satisfying to use. You're basically just shooting shit as you run through the woods, right? Here's rapid fire stance. So I'm going to go through the abilities here. This enables rapid fire stance. You shoot like really fast in this stance. You deal a lot more damage as well. Enhanced precision grants a 15% chance to gain precision upon landing a basic attack. Precision increases your crit rate by 3% for 5 seconds, stacking 10 times. Okay, heat of battle. Upon landing a critical hit, increases the attack by 16% for 12 seconds. Oh, that was tornado shot. Performs a spinning shot, dealing a bunch of damage to enemies within 6 meters. This is a cool ability. And this is why I chose to use the crossbows over the rapier. So you'll notice it dashes you a little bit forward. This ability, you can spam it on repeat like this. Right? And reposition ever so slightly behind people. And it does a little bit of damage. This is what crossbow is basically used for in close quarters, right? And then the bow is kind of your long range, like I'm gonna shoot people with it. So yeah, this is just me a little bit later, basically. Shooting stuff, kiting stuff. And again, the class does get kind of difficult when you're by yourself fighting like a boss or anything like really big out in the open world. A little bit tough.